Hi, this is Chris Hanbury from Serious Squash, and today I'm going to give you a quick overview of my new sports psych workbook that I've just completed the first draft of. So here are the sections. It's just the format. I'm looking at my phone. It's not this poorly formatted, but the first section is a little bit about myself and this workbook. I think that's important. If someone doesn't know me, then what's my experience? Why would I know anything? Section 2, playing better in practice and in competition, which is something that I think a lot of people can relate to in squash. The power of positive self-talk. It's kind of hard to read with this formatting. Section 5. So basically section 3 is the power of positive self-talk, and then all those dots goes to page 5. So that's how that's formatted. So it's making it a little tricky to read. But section 4 is a growth mindset instead of being closed-minded. It's the opposite of that. Section 5, who drives you? So it's about intrinsic motivation. Section 6 is focusing on and trusting the process. Section 7, refocusing and the power of routines. Section 8, fearlessness versus recklessness and unwavering confidence. Section 9, keeping it simple. Section 10 is on body language. Section 11, having a can-do attitude and dealing with adversity. Section 12 is no excuses. Section 13, perseverance, goal setting, and surrounding yourself with a winning team. And Section 14, empowering words and phrases that can improve your performance. Section 15, mental toughness / grit. Section 16, confidence and trusting your preparation. Section 17, trusting the process. Section 18, visualization. Section 19, the power of breathing. Section 20, momentum. Section 21 is a conclusion and kind of a wrap-up about trying to cherish the challenges in sport. So I'm not going to go through, obviously, this entire thing. It's only about 38 pages, I believe. So I'll skip past this chapter, but I'll give you a little summary of how each chapter works. So most chapters, or each section, I guess, is only a page. Some are a little less, some are a little bit more, and it gives you a little bit of a background into my history and experience with it, and either from research or books or my own personal experience as a coach or a player. And then I go through, and at the end of each chapter, I will have like a section, either questions to consider. So here at the end of this chapter, which was on playing better in practice and competition, I have a talk about a few different things, nerves and so on. And then questions to consider. Do you normally play up to your potential in competition? If not, why do you think you don't? Do you put pressure on yourself to win? Do you feel external pressure to win? Do you play better when you don't expect to win? Do you play better or your best in familiar environments? So just getting you thinking a little bit. So that's the idea. You don't have to go through just, okay, now I'm on section 3. You can just pick a chapter that you find interesting, that you want to learn about, and then you can read that chapter. So this is the power of positive self-talk. So then we go down here, and the end of this chapter, putting a positive spin on your self-talk. Make a list of what you say during competition in various scenarios. Do these sayings have a positive or negative connotation to them? If your self-talk is negative, write a more positive statement you can replace with in the future. Make your own table or use the examples below. So basically a situation, maybe my first example is I make a poor error. What do you normally say when you make a poor error in your sport? And then what is something you could say that's going to have a positive spin that will allow you to play better and stay more confident? And then the next one is when I lose a few points in a row, or it could be rallies or whatever, or go down by a few points, and when I got off to a slow start. So it's getting you thinking about situations which you're facing some adversity and struggling a little bit, having a tough patch in your match. And do you usually beat yourself up, or do you actually stay calm, positive, and you stick with the game plan, and can you sink your teeth in and get back into the game? And that's something that all the best athletes in the world are able to do with years and years of training, and that's the importance of sports psychology and this kind of a format. So maybe we'll look at one or two more here. So here I just basically, on this section on a growth mindset, so that's really important, I believe, for an athlete to have, or anyone to have really. And it's just at the end, you're trying to guess each of these statements, are they a growth or a fixed mindset? And you'll probably be able to pick them out pretty easily and see why one is more important than the other. So the first example here was, I wish I had that skill set so I could do more with my game. Okay, so is that a growth mindset or a fixed kind of negative mindset, closed mindset? So that's obviously a fixed, closed mindset. Number 2 is I'll do whatever it takes. So that's a growth mindset. Number 3, I can't beat that person, they're too good. Okay, so obviously you can see very negative connotation again, fixed mindset, not believing in yourself and your ability. So those are examples, and I have the answers down there, but basically you're just trying to get you in the right frame of mind and seeing how important that frame of mind is to your success when you're playing. And this, even though this was designed by me as a squash player, squash coach, it's really relatable, I believe, to any sport. And then again, on the same chapter, there's no right or wrong answer, but simply put down some growth mindset statements. So I will continue to do this by, I can and will get better at, I will not let blank get between me and my dreams. I will not let blank tell me otherwise. I will not let any excuses like blank get between my goals. My unparalleled work ethic and motivation to be the best will enable me to blah, blah, blah. So you can see how important this kind of mindset can be, and how positive and motivating these kind of mindsets and statements can be. They can be very powerful. So again, I'm not going to go through every chapter, but you'll see I have about a page or so about that specific area. So this is about intrinsic motivation, which I think is really critical, and I talk about that, and then it gets you thinking here a little bit about what is important to you and what drives you, and how can you sustain or increase your intrinsic motivation. And then that's basically how this format works, and then you get to the end, and then it's just my kind of conclusion, and trying to be, I guess, motivating and uplifting as a coach, and inspiring athletes, and then that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this little summary, and if you do want a copy, I've been sending out free e-copy to people who subscribe to my Serious Squash email list, which I will put in the comments below. So feel free to subscribe if you are interested, or you can always email me info@serioussquash.com, and I'd love to get some feedback and make some revisions, and eventually get to a place where I can publish this or get it out to some squash players and other athletes, where they can actually use this, or coaches obviously too, so they can use this and improve their performance and their training and get more out of their mental game. So I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to let me know what you think.